Hi, kindergarten friends. Today we're going to read chapter 7 of Midnight on the Moon. This chapter is called The Moon Man. While I'm reading, you're going to be thinking about what your summary of the chapter is. What's a summary? Right, a summary is the most important part. It's what you want to glue in your brain so you remember it tomorrow and you can understand the story better. Remember where we left off? Annie and Jack had just jumped over a huge meteorite and they fell down. And while they were stuck on the ground, the strange Moon Man appeared over Annie. Let's find out what happened. Jack's heart nearly stopped. He could hear Annie talking. "Hi," she said. "We come in peace." There was silence. Then Jack heard Annie say, "Thank you. I have to help my brother up now." A moment later, Annie rolled Jack onto his back. She grabbed his hand and pulled him up. "Thanks," said Jack once he was standing. The Moon Man was a few feet away. His face was hidden by the metal visor. Remember, we talked about the visor is the part that covers their eyes. It's almost like the sunglass part of their helmet. He looked like a spaceman, a huge spaceman, with a giant tank on his back. It was as big as a refrigerator. Isn't that huge, you guys? Can you imagine carrying something like the size of the refrigerator on your back? "That's a jetpack," said Jack. "I've seen pictures of future astronauts flying around with those things. It's like a mini spaceship, right?" The Moon Man didn't answer. "I don't think he can hear us," said Annie. "He's not hooked up to our radio." "Oh, right," said Jack. "I'll write him a message." "Good idea," said Annie. Jack pulled out his notebook and his pencil, and he wrote, "We're Jack and Annie. We come in peace from America. Who are you?" Jack handed his notebook and pencil to the Moon Man. They looked tiny in his big hands. Look at this picture over here. Can you see the huge Moon Man? Jack looks teeny tiny compared to him. The Moon Man looked down at the message. He looked at the tiny pencil. Then he turned the notebook over. Jack and Annie watched as the Moon Man put the pencil to the paper. He was writing something carefully. Finally, he gave the notebook back to Jack. Jack and Annie stared at the marks. "Stars," said Annie. "He drew stars." You see in the middle of the page, there's a picture of what he drew. "Maybe it's a space map," said Jack. "Space map," said Annie. "Hey, Jack, map starts with M. Remember? Map. And they need to find another M thing. "Wow," said Jack. "This must be the fourth M thing." "Let's ask him what his map means," said Annie. She turned around. "We'll never know now," she said. "Why?" Jack looked up from the map. "That's why," Annie pointed. The Moon Man was flying over the mountains. "Thank you!" cried Annie. All right, I want you to think in your brain, what was the most important part about that chapter? Who did Jack and Annie talk to? What did that person give them? And why is that thing that he gave them important? All right, get that summary glued in your brain, and then we're going to show you what we expect from you during writing time today.